Howdy, Dan and Josh at the Acoustic Centre. There are some very exciting things going on in Australian guitar land at the moment. We have another new line of guitars that have just been released. This time it's from our good friends at Maton Guitars, the iconic Australian brand that it is. They have just come out with a new line, Joshy, they're calling the Troubadour Series, and they are fantastic guitars available in 3 sizes.
Yep.
We have the Mini here, the one and only Mini Maton. We have, well, we'll get to that later.
Yep.
Kicking off with the Mini Maton, the Troubadour specs in general. Talk us through it, Joshy. These are really sweet guitars.
Okay, so this is spruce top. Okay, they're all burst.
All sunburst.
All sunburst. Okay, they don't come with a cutaway, so don't ask.
A Troubadour doesn't need a cutaway.
A Troubadour doesn't need a cutaway. Okay,
Yeah.
so non-cutaway. All right, the back and sides of these are Queensland maple. Okay, and the neck is mahogany, which we often see Maton guitars with Queensland maple necks. So more of a traditional neck on these guys. So basically, Queensland maple, though, you can think of like a mahogany.
Yeah.
So it's more like a mahogany than it is like an American maple.
Someone told me once that the great Bill May would refer to it as Queensland mahogany.
Yes. So
I don't know how much truth there is to that, but it's a good story.
Yeah, so you can basically think of a guitar like this as a mahogany spruce guitar, really. So it's pretty traditional in the sense that we've got Queensland maple mahogany neck. Okay, so and the burst, it's the classic looking burst that you see on all your sort of favourite looking guitars that you want to play.
Do a great tobacco burst.
Now, you're a man who doesn't really have a cutaway on any of your acoustic guitars.
No.
You're a man who likes a traditional shape. So Maton are renowned and known for their cutaways, but not everyone wants a cutaway or needs a cutaway or even likes the aesthetics of a cutaway.
Sure.
So that's the offering of this, and they've aimed it at the person, the singer, the songwriter, the troubadour, the person who's going out there and doing gigs, playing away, and there's an awful lot of those people here in Australia and around the world, of course.
Yeah. The 3 shapes are the Mini Maton, a deep body traditional, and a dread. Talk us through the power of the Mini Maton, Joshy, because these are more popular than ever. They're amazing guitars, and they just fly out the door as quickly as any other Maton that we sell at the moment.
Well, I feel like I can speak authoritatively, if that's a word I can use, on this little guy, because I've played them for a lot of shows over the years, and one of the main shows I was doing, I did this tour, and I was I was stuck between an 810 bass rig, which, as you know, is a massive bass rig, and a guy on Telecaster who had a Fender Twin. And there's me in the middle trying to get volume out of acoustic guitars. The only thing that would work was a Mini Maton. So I was playing a Mini Maton 6 and 12 string for that tour. And we were able to get audible volume. We weren't on in-ears, we were using floor monitoring. And it was amazing. I did a lot of support slots on that tour as well, so I was taking the minis along and playing them, and you can always get great volume out of them, usable volume. And what I mean by usable volume is volume that is not out of control, it's not feeding astronomically, and it's giving you a fairly decent tone. And a lot of people can attest to that this is a great little guitar. And I was just going to say quickly, one of my only complaints was the tuning is sometimes hard to get right on these.
Because of the really short scale.
Because it's a short scale, and often when you're using a capo, but they've sorted it out a lot more than it used to be, because they now come with a split saddle.
Really cool.
So the intonation is way better than it used to be. You could always get them pretty good, but they're really good now, and so hats off to Maton for creating something that some people take over the world with little guitars. Ed Sheeran, for instance, have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, well, Maton were ahead of the curve when they designed this. It was built as a live machine,
Yeah.
like not so much a travel guitar that are all the rage at the moment, but they were one of the first brands to release a really small guitar like this, and now everyone does it, and it's a huge thing. But this was built as a gigging machine, and it's killer for that.
And they're unreal. I mean, I absolutely love them. The other thing is that they don't sound like a full guitar. They're not meant to. The main purpose is live, plugged in live tone. But one of our favourite guitar players in the world, when he recorded the Grizzly Man soundtrack, is always using little guitars, and it has that kind of... So it's got a sound. That's a useful sound for recording, for sure.
You are referring to the great Richard Thompson there.
That's correct.
Teddy's dad.
Now, the Troubadour. We're not talking Mini Matons, we're talking Troubadours. That just happens to be the Troubadour Mini Maton.
Here we go. Same look, same timbers. I present the deep body traditional Troubadour shape.
Okay, deep body traditional, play it a little bit. There you go. There's the tone.
I love this guitar, based on an orchestra model really from the front, but you have a slightly deeper body than a traditional OM.
Yep.
So you've got the best of both worlds. You've got a more comfortable guitar, but plenty of bottom end and a lovely full rich sound still.
So a lot of people may not know that an 808 is similar size to a 00 Martin, but with a deeper body. Okay, so in other words, an OM is a similar size to a 000, 000 OM, and this Maton have called it a traditional because it's, and compared to an 808, bigger here and bigger here. So bigger and bigger, and of course the deep body that they're renowned for. So deep body traditional Troubadour model, very comfy guitar to stand with. Comfy guitar to sit with, and what's wrong with this guitar?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Give us another taste.
Great guitar.
Lovely built-in compression on that one too.
Yeah, what a great sounding guitar.
Ebony board, ebony bridge, lovely herringbone binding, Joshy. I've always loved this herringbone rosette that Maton do.
Yep.
Gorgeous look.
Now, of course, I think we mentioned, but AP5 Pro on all of these. And just as a little bit of nerd information, the fascia is also ebony as well on that guitar.
A little bit of colour in it there.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it looks really beautiful. It's sprayed with that colour, but whoever's painting these at the moment is doing a pretty sensational job. So, and it's burst. The neck is actually burst.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Unreal. Beautiful work all over the back and sides. Gold Grovers.
Rotomatic Grovers. It may not be a more reliable machine head in
Very
the
true.
universe.
Yep.
So,
Bone nut and saddle, I think, on these.
yep. And that's just ringing out too.
Let's
Lovely
do it. Here we go.
overtones. Yeah. Okay.
The Dreadnought, the new Troubadour Dreadnought from Maton. I love the Maton shape. I always think of it as sort of half square shouldered, half round. I think it's a gorgeous Dreadnought shape, and lovely to see it without a cutaway, Joshy, in all its glory.
That's right. I mean, look at that.
Perfect.
Yeah, classic. You often think of like Paul Kelly. I mean, he's one of the ultimate Australian troubadours. Paul Kelly has always had Matons without cutaways.
You bet.
know, so it's a classic look. Who's some other guys you could think of? Your mate. Your best mate. He's got a 70s Maton. He's always played it.
Steve?
We play his album all the time in the shop. Young Werther.
Oh, my friend Young Werther. Yeah,
That's
of
right,
course,
Young
of
Werther.
course, yeah.
Great album, by the way.
Yeah,
very
great
good album.
artist, yeah.
But anyway, it's a good look. I mean, look at that. But let's have a listen.
Yeah, go.
There you go. Sounds like a dread.
Yeah. Killer guitar.
That's a great sounding guitar. And I saw a Jason Isbell interview the other day. He doesn't play Matons, of course, but he was always talking about, I just love the loudest guitar I can get my hands on for an acoustic guitar. And it's like, when you get on a Dreadnought, there's just something magic about that. Must be why Mr. Young plays a Dreadnought, because there's just nothing that does that. So, anyway, the Troubadour.
Unreal. It's good. So good to finally have them, because we're so lucky that Maton kind of work with us in some of their designs as well. They bring things in that are half built, half finished, and they ask us what we think of them. They think, do you like this look? Do you like that look? Do you like this sound? It's great to see a finished product that turns out as good as these.
Oh, yeah. It just sounds incredible.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's great.
Beautiful, Joshy. I think that's about it. These guitars are in stock now. It's the new Troubadour series from Maton Guitars. Take us out with your thoughts. Whoa!
That's a good one.